So now you're going to start creating the thumb. So for this you're going to need 2 stitch markers. When you're doing the right hand, you're going to be placing the thumb all the way on the far left of your work. And when you do your left hand, you're going to be putting it right here in the beginning of your work on the right. And you're going to do 10 stitches. Okay, so you go in 10 stitches, then you're going to place one of your stitch markers on your right needle. Now for the thumb, we're just going to leave it a plain stockinette stitch, so we're not going to do anything but knit and purl. So you're going to do a knit 1 increase. So you do a normal knit, but you don't pull it off your left needle. You're going to go through the back and you're going to knit again, which makes the 1 stitch into 2. I'll link you to a video where I further explain increases. And then you're going to do that in the next stitch. You're going to knit, increase. So now you have 4 stitches. Then you're going to place your other stitch marker and you're going to continue in your seed stitch pattern. Then when you finish, you're going to turn your work and you're going to continue your seed stitch pattern up until you reach the first marker. So when you get all your stitches knitted up to your first stitch marker, you're just going to slip the marker onto your right needle. And because we're keeping this in a stockinette type fashion, then we're just going to purl these 4 stitches. Then you're going to slip the second marker, and then you're going to continue all the way across, and when you turn your work around, you're going to continue it to the first marker. Okay, then when you reach your first marker, you're going to slip it, and you're going to do a knit increase on the first stitch. So you're going to knit, then bring it around the back, and you're going to increase. Then you're going to knit 2, and then you're going to do a knit increase on this last stitch. So you're going to knit 1, bring it around, and knit it again. Then you're going to slip your marker and you're going to continue in your seed stitch pattern. Increase 2 stitches every other row until you get 12 stitches between the markers. And right there, that's your thumb. So now, once you reach the 12 stitches, you're going to continue your pattern up to the first marker. Then you're going to take off the stitch marker. You're going to knit 1, and then you're going to bind off your thumb. So you knit 1, and we're going to do this in a knit 1, purl 1, bind off. So you knit 1, then you're going to purl the next, and then you're going to slip the first stitch over and off. Then we're going to knit, and then slip the first stitch over and off. And you want to do this loose enough so you have some give. And you just want to you knit 1 and purl 1 back and forth while binding off. Okay, then when you have only 1 left, you take off your second stitch marker, When we started our thumb, we took two of our main stitches to create the thumb. So now we need to put them back on. So I forgot to do it over here, but you would have, before you started binding off for the thumb, you would have increased one. Then you would have bound off. Then over here, because we still have one stitch left over, we're going to knit into our next stitch. But before we make our increase, we're going to pull off the bound off thumb stitch. And then we're going to go in the back of our stitch and make our increase. Then continue with our pattern. Okay, then when you're on your reverse side and you come to where you've bound off the stitches, you're going to just continue. You're going to pucker out the thumb and bring your needles together. Now, because I messed up and I forgot to add on before I bound off my thumb, I'm going to add one now. But if you did it right, you would then just continue in your knit one, purl one pattern all the way across. But since I messed up, I'm going to, right here where I started to bind off is a loop. So I'm going to pick it up and put it up on my needle, and then I'm going to knit it. And you can pull fairly tight to pull your yarn together right here where the thumb meets. And then I'm just going to continue on my knit one, purl one pattern. So now after you've connected your thumb pieces, you should look something like this. And you can carefully, this is the wrong hand, but you'd carefully just slide your hand up in there. So now you have your little thumb. You can get a feel for what it would look like. Now as you can see, if you can see, you have at least another inch or so before you get to your top finger. So you're just going to continue in your knit one, purl one, seed stitch pattern until you reach the base of your top fingers. So from the time that you end up connecting your base of your glove together, do 5 stitches continuing your pattern. Then we're going to start our ribbing to match the base, the bottom of our glove. So since we're already in the knit one, purl one theme, we're just going to do the opposite. So to continue with our seed stitch, in my case, I would knit, purl, knit. So I'm just going to go ahead and follow what I see and do a purl, knit, purl, which would take me out of my seed stitch and into my ribbing. And I'm going to do 5 rows of that, and that will close off the top of our glove. And then as you can see here, going with it, you start getting your ribbing instead of a seed stitch. 5 rows of a 1x1 ribbing, and then you're going to bind off doing a knit one, purl one to go with your ribbing. And then we'll come back and I'll show you how to sew up your glove so you can wear it. So when you finished your 5-row ribbing, you're going to have it still attached. You're going to pull quite a few inches to do the sewing up. Cut it. Then widen the last loop on your project, pull the string through and tighten. So this is what it should look like now. You can put it on your hand to see what it would look like. Then you're going to take a large eye sewing needle and you're going to thread the last long piece of thread we just did. You're going to thread it through. It might take a little while. You can try twisting the yarn. like so. Okay, since this is going to be in a round, obviously to make the hole opening, you're going to hold this together, and you look at the very top where you bound off, and you're going to pick up on the opposite side of your string. It should look kind of like a stitch. There should be 2 lines. You're going to go through that, then you're going to come to the other side, find the same stitch with the 2 bars, go through that, then you're going to come down the center here where they connect, and you have an almost seamless circle edge. Then you're going to hold it together, and you're going to match up the bumps on either side, and those are how you're going to sew it. So you're going to grab the bump on the right side, then you're going to grab the opposite side bump, and you're just going to keep doing that all the way up. This isn't going to be very seamless, as you can see right here from what we've done, but you can't really tell, and I think it looks okay. If you're looking for more of a seamless one, right now you can Google it until I put a video up on seamless sewing of knitting. So you just keep grabbing the bumps from either side, pulling kind of tight but not really, and every once in a while just kind of tugging back up on the top half. But just keep alternating bumps on either side. Then when you get towards the end, then I'll show you how to finish it. Then once you've sewn it all up, like so, you get to the top, you're going to have the first tail that you started with. We'll just leave that there. You're going to come over here from the opposite side that your yarn is coming out of, and you're going to find those 2 bars from before. Right there. Going to go through them. Then you're going to come around and find the 2 bars on the opposite side and go through those. Then you're going to go down the center of the loop that we just made towards the inside of your glove, and you're going to pull. Then on the inside, you're just going to take your yarn on your needle and you're just going to weave it lightly through, not pulling too tight, and just kind of weaving a little design throughout just to get the yarn further down. Then you get it about, I don't know, kind of where we started our ribbing. Then you're just going to pull it out, and you're going to thread the first tail on your glove. And then where that's coming out of, you're just going to push it around to the back or the inside. And you're going to do the same thing. You're just going to weave a little pattern just to bring the yarn further down. That one out. Now you don't have to, but I always knot my stuff. I don't really care for the, I'd rather it not fall out than mind the knot. Just gonna make a small double knot. Then you're gonna clip the yarn semi-close. Your fingerless seed stitch mitten. And then how you would tell the difference between the two is you see how nice this is, and on this side you can kind of see the seam that would be the underneath. So this is your left glove. You just slide your hand in it. And then you have a nice glove to keep your hands warm, but keep your fingers free. I hope you go and make this yourself and enjoy your own pair of fingerless gloves. If you have any requests, please send them to me. Check out my website at sewcreations.com. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.